What photograph in September 2024? Hello, PhotoPills, Rafael Navarre here. In September, we'll enjoy the Zodiacal Light. September is a great month to see and photograph the Zodiacal Light. And of course, we also have the opportunity to photograph the Milky Way and the Galactic Center, and the Crescent Moon. And Mercury will be at its greatest western elongation, giving us a great opportunity to view and photograph the planet. On the other hand, Saturn and Neptune will be at opposition. The planets will be brighter than any other time of the year, and they'll be visible throughout the night. Then we'll have the first supermoon of the year, a partial lunar eclipse, and 5 conjunctions of the moon with the planets, with Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars. And also, depending where you are on Earth, you'll be able to enjoy the occultation of Venus and Saturn behind the moon. And as always, don't forget the photo opportunities that are always there. I'm talking about sunrise, sunsets, golden hour, blue hour, star trails. And also, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you 3 of the best photos that you've submitted to the PhotoPills Awards and that we featured in August. So let your imagination fly, decide what you want to photograph, and go to PhotoPills and plan the photo so you can go and capture it. Okay, let's get started. Let's see some of the best photo opportunities that can be captured in September 2024. The new moon is on September 3rd, and around the moon is a great time to find the Zodiacal Light. And the Zodiacal Light is a reflection produced by the scattering of sunlight due to the particles moving around the entire solar system. In the northern hemisphere, is visible before the astronomical twilight begins before sunrise. In the sunrise direction, which is the thick yellow line that you see on the PhotoPills, that's the sunrise direction, and there you'll see the Zodiacal Light. On the contrary, the Zodiacal Light is visible in the west, in the direction of the sunset direction, the thick orange line you see in the map here, and the Zodiacal Light will be visible after the astronomical twilight ends, when it's completely dark. So to plan the Zodiacal Light, all you need to know is where the sun is rising and setting, and you have lines here on the PhotoPills map. Now, if you wish to learn how to photograph the Zodiacal Light, watch this video. And September is a fantastic month to photograph the Milky Way and the Galactic Center completely vertical. But if you are in the southern hemisphere, you can also get low in the sky too. Okay, let's check what's going on in the northern hemisphere. I have the red pin in Menorca, in Spandengil. We have here this beautiful natural arch, and the pin is my shooting spot. And as you see, you can get the Milky Way completely vertical. As you see on the top panel, the Milky Way is completely vertical. The icon of the Milky Way, the arch of the Milky Way on the map, goes above the red pin, which means that the Milky Way is vertical. And if I tap on the 90R, I'll be able to visualize the position of the Milky Way in the augmented reality view. I have the horizon here. This is the Galactic Center, and as you see, the Milky Way is completely vertical. Pretty cool. This is the horizon, and this is the Polaris, and the moon is new moon on the 3rd, so it's below the horizon. Pretty cool. And the plan you're seeing now is the plan for a photo that Antonio Cladera took, a panorama photo of the Milky Way with the Milky Way completely vertical with the Spandengil. Actually, this is the photo that you're seeing now. And if I go to the southern hemisphere, you'll see what happens. Let me change the time. You can get the Milky Way completely vertical, and the core is gonna be super high just above my head and pretty low in the sky, which is pretty cool. On the icon on top panel, how low the Milky Way is in the sky, pretty flat, and then it's vertical. And if I tap on the 90R, and I imagine that I'm at the right position, you can see how vertical it is. You can change also the time by swiping the screen here in the AR view, pretty cool. And the Milky Way goes completely vertical, super high in the sky, and dies on the other side. So it's amazing how beautiful, how high is the core, the Galactic Center in the southern hemisphere. It is amazing, and then can go lower, you change the time, and you can get a beautiful panorama above the horizon. Very cool. And if you wish to learn how to plan the Milky Way, your Milky Way photos, watch this video. 1 or 2 days before or after the new moon are great days to photograph the moon when it's super thin with a phase of 1%, 2%, 3%. For example, check this plan here. I have red pin in Lofoten, actually in Barrett Beach, one of our favorite beaches to photograph during our PhotoPills expeditions to the Lofoten Islands. And I planned this shot, the Crescent Moon setting along the eclipse here in Lofoten, seen from this beautiful beach. And this shot occurs on September 4th, 2024, around 8:04 p.m. The Crescent Moon, with only 2.5% is a waxing. It's the waxing crescent, 2.5%. The phase, you have the phase on the top panel, and it's going to be setting here along these rock formations in the Lofoten Islands. Pretty cool. So, I mean, the Crescent Moon is super nice, super interesting, and super fun. I invite you to imagine a photo planet and go and capture it. Go for it. And you should learn how to plan your Crescent Moon shots step by step. Watch this video. On September 5th, Mercury will be at its greatest western elongation, which means that the planet will be further away from the Sun, giving us great conditions to view it and photograph it from both hemispheres. Mercury will shine in the early morning sky with a magnitude of minus 0.17, which means that the planet will be visible to the naked eye. Remember that the celestial bodies that have magnitude under 6 are visible to the naked eye. So right before sunrise, you'll find the planet below the sky in the sunrise direction, in the direction of this thick yellow line you see on the map. This is the sunrise direction for September the 5th, and there you'll see the planet Mercury right above the sky before sunrise. You can't miss it. On September 8th, Saturn will be at opposition, meaning that the Earth will be between the Sun and the planet, meaning that Saturn's visible phase will be completely illuminated by the Sun. It will shine in the sky with a magnitude of 0.58. At this time of the year, Saturn is brighter than any other time of the year, and it is visible throughout the night. And therefore, this is the best time to observe and photograph Saturn, of course, with a telescope. So in the evening, Saturn will rise in the east in the sunrise direction. You see on the map, not in the sunset direction. It will rise in the sunrise in the evening. You can't miss it. The full moon, which is also a supermoon this year, will be on September 17th or 18th, depending on the time zone you are, giving us another great opportunity to use the full moon, the supermoon, to tell a beautiful story. So, based on the moonrise and moonset directions, plan your shot. For instance, here I planned the shot with supermoon aligned with the top of the Empire State Building, shooting from the other side of the river, Hudson River, and here we have the supermoon aligned with the Empire State. And if I go to panel number 2, you'll see that the height of the center of the supermoon is 390.9 meters, and the size is 32 meters. And the natural light will be nautical twilight because the sun elevation is minus 8.36, which is after the hour. It's gonna be pretty dark, but because the Empire State Building is lit at night, I'll be able to photograph and correctly expose in one single exposure, in one single shot, both the Empire State and the supermoon. And if you wish to learn how to plan your full moon shots, your supermoon shots, watch this video. And on the same date of the full moon and the supermoon, we'll have a partial lunar eclipse that you will be able to enjoy depending on where you are on Earth. And a partial lunar eclipse occurs when the umbra, the strongest shadow of the Earth, partially covers the moon's disk. So where on Earth the eclipse will be visible and at what time? How do you plan your eclipse shot? Well, I have the eclipse already selected in the planner, and I have set the top panel to the eclipse panel. So on the top panel I have, based on the location of the red pin, the phases of the lunar eclipse. So I know the exact time each phase of the lunar eclipse occurs. And on the map I have where the eclipse is visible. As you see, the eclipse is visible in parts of Europe, Spain, Italy, Africa, to the eastern side of the US, and Southern and Central America and South America too. And the eclipse won't be visible here in Asia, in Japan, in Australia, in New Zealand. The eclipse is not visible, which is a shame, but you guys need to travel to Europe or to the US to photograph it, or in any country within these lines you see here on the map. So you need to place a pin on your desired shooting spot, then on the top panel you'll get the times of each phase of the eclipse. So in this case, the penumbral eclipse begins at 2:42 a.m. I have the time on the top panel, and the eclipse will be in this in direction of this thin blue line you see in the map. In this case, it's pointing south. Great! You can change the time and see how the eclipse evolves on the top panel. See, it's not a really huge eclipse, so you'll see the moon, the full moon, with a little bite, which is cool enough. So you want to plan your eclipse shots, you need to use top panel, change the wrapping position, and on the bottom you'll see where the moon is at all time when it's eclipsed, so you can decide your shooting spot. And by the way, you will learn how to plan the partial lunar eclipse step by step. Watch this video. On September 21st, it is Neptune that will be in opposition, which means that the planet face will be completely illuminated by the Sun, and the magnitude will be 7.81. But that's not visible to the naked eye. As you know, it is brighter than any other time of the year, so it's a great opportunity to view and observe and photograph the planet, but with a telescope, of course. So in the evening, Neptune will rise in the east in the direction of the sunrise, which is the thick or yellow line you see on the map, and well, there you'll see the planet. Okay, we'll get into the conjunctions. In September there will be 5 moon-planet conjunctions. On September 1st, Mercury will be pretty close to a pretty thin moon. The moon phase will be only 3%. On September 5th, the moon will be in conjunction with Venus, and the moon phase will be 6%. On September 17th, Saturn will be pretty close to the full moon, to the SuperMoon. The moon phase will be 99%. Also, you're in the west coast of the US and the west coast of Canada and Hawaii, you'll be able to see the occultation of Saturn behind the moon. On September 23rd, Jupiter will be in conjunction with the moon and the moon phase will be 59%. And on September 25th, Mars will be in conjunction with the moon, and the moon phase will be 43%. On both hemispheres, you'll find the moon-planet conjunctions where the moon is. So just follow the thin blue line that you see moving on the map, and where you see the moon, you'll see the moon-planet conjunction. All you need to do is to wait that it gets dark enough. Okay, and now let's see some of the best photos that you've submitted to the PhotoPills Awards and that we featured in the month of September. The first one is a fantastic photo of a vertical Milky Way over Rucapillán volcano in Chile, a photo by Pedro Antonio Desvifley. The second one is a photo of the full moon rising behind the Galata Tower in Istanbul, Turkey, photo taken by H. Guller. And the third one is a spectacular photo of the sun rising over the sea stacks called the Giant and the Witch in the Faroe Islands, photo by Paul Zimuth. Fantastic photos, guys, fantastic photos. And now we shall learn how to plan and photograph each one of the events I've shared with you in this video. I invite you to download and study well our super detailed astronomical event photography guide. I'm going to leave a link to the guide in the description of this video and in the first comment below. Download it. And as always, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, and see you next Wednesday in another video. And remember, that you have the power to imagine, plan, shoot. Legendary photos. Bye.